ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is the Rotherham United podcast. We're going to review what was a plucky 2-0 defeat for Rotherham, if you ask Sky Sports. We're going to look ahead to Coventry City, with a big game on Saturday for both of us and Coventry, way out St Andrews, as we are at the moment. Mick's here and Ben. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Do you feel lucky to have witnessed Brentford play football on Tuesday night?
Ben?
Well, I only watched part of the game because I had other commitments, but Coventry was awful, embarrassing, disgusting.
I'm just so proud. I'm so proud that a team of our size and you know that we're even allowed to be on the same pitches, and to be honest with you, and let alone the same television screen. And to be fair, there were a couple of times we got a mention, obviously, when programme came on and end of programme, and I think they put our name, the club name, actually in the programme title as well, which were nice, you know what I mean, and I quite enjoyed that. It made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
We're very, very poor coverage, but I suppose we'll come on to that a bit more in a minute. 2-0 defeat. Frost scored the first one, and then Ivan Toney with a late-ish penalty. It was one change from the weekend. Woody came in for Hickway. We've talked for a few weeks about making sure that get some continuity, consistency, but it ends up costing us because we look so tired towards the end. It's a really, really tough line Warning's walking with selection, isn't it?
It is, and it's not helping with 7 players on treatment table and 1 suspended, is it? You know, first team starters, I guess. They're tired in the second half, but it doesn't matter to me whether they played Saturday or not. The intensity that they played at in that first half, I don't see how they're going to be able to keep it up for 90 minutes. Having said that, they probably did against Bournemouth just about, but the difference in quality between Bournemouth and Brentford, or Brentford last night, it's Brentford, it was quite marked, really. I thought they were a much better side, Brentford, much better side. Yeah, I did, yeah, definitely. Offered a lot more, created a lot more, and were more dangerous, I thought, anyway.
I don't really get the hype on Brentford. Yeah, they played quite well, but I didn't. First half, they didn't cause any problems. I didn't particularly feel threatened. Their biggest threat when Ivan Toney dropped into centre back to ping a long ball forward. Ivan Toney was by far and away their best player.
Yeah, he was.
But again, he wasn't amazing. No,
I'm not sort of saying that they're a fantastic side and tossing them off like Sky Sports commentators were doing. I'm not in any way.
Yeah.
They're all right. I think we held them at bay. Sorry, we held our own in the first half.
Yeah, get it right. Yeah,
against a phenomenal footballing side. I think they knew they were in the game in that first half.
Yeah, they did.
If luck had gone our way, I think we could have gone in probably in front.
Crooks had that chance, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good effort. Yeah, we were definitely unlucky. I thought it did change in the second half, no doubt about that. But again, I don't think they were running as ragged at any point in the game. Ben, obviously, second half was when the game sort of changed around. Well, I know they dominated possession, but they weren't exactly chance after chance. Blackman weren't pulling ball from left, right, and centre. They just had possession and it would do all.
Yeah, well, like I said, obviously, I didn't really watch the first half. Obviously, watched some highlights, but I watched most of the second half, and it just looked like it was just a game of football. Do you know what I mean? They had ball, got on attack, we got ball back, lost possession. They got on ball. Do you know what I mean? Ivan Toney threw himself on the floor, thought 3 times. Got Miller booked. No, was it? He got Miller booked. I don't know.
To be fair, we ragged him about something rotten.
Oh yeah, of course he did. But it's Woody, innit? That's how he deals with players of that calibre. You know, he did it with Naki Wells constantly.
True.
Yeah, they tried playing tiki taka, and like I've said it so many times before, you can't play tiki taka in Championship. Barcelona couldn't play tiki taka in Championship because it's not the division for it. Leeds showed it. They were stuck in division for 2 years before they went up. I think with Bielsa playing tiki taka. Now they got in Premier League. They're doing very well. It's not the league for it.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I don't think. So we mentioned it first half. I don't think they caused any real problems. We certainly had the best of chances in the first half. If we didn't have the possession, there was a change in intensity. We didn't press as high as we have done.
No.
Even in the first half, we waited for him to come into our half to go. I think that was to combat them because they want to sort of get in behind. But I wonder if it's a bit of tiredness as well, a bit of two thing really.
I don't know. It was very noticeable for me.
Yeah.
And if I had been a football coach ever, which I've never have been, but you look at the way Brentford play, and they've got that. I can't remember where we played last time in Championship. Who just insisted on knocking ball between centre backs for about half an hour.
Do you know a few years ago?
But Ipswich.
It was a few years ago. If you remember Sheffield United when they had David Weir in charge,
Right.
and with a 3-1 win at home.
Yeah.
And they passed it back centre backs for 75 minutes.
Yeah. Well, essentially, that's what Brentford were doing at first half,
yeah.
and it was tedious. Obviously, let me rephrase that. It was absolutely fantastic football, and wonderful to watch as well.
Yeah, a pleasure.
But we just let them have it there. What's the point?
Yeah.
Because we know, and everybody knows that a team like that, they want you to press there because they're just going to play it straight through you. I think we pressed higher up the pitch and we pressed further down the pitch, but at that point, that sort of middle third, if you like, we sat off them. I think that for me, I thought that was tactical, but I don't know, maybe not.
When we did press them, it caused them problems. Freddie in the first half, first 10 minutes, caused them all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
That never carried on, unfortunately. Other than the first 10 minutes, Freddie were quite quiet, which was disappointing. Ben, thoughts on Smithy and Freddie up top again? We didn't have much at ball.
Well, I don't. From what I saw, Freddie looked a bit. He looked all right, but whenever he got ball, he just looked a bit like losing it sometimes. I mean, it didn't look like it was sticking. I didn't really see much of Smith because I only watched a bit before he come off.
Why don't you keep mentioning how much of the game you watched?
Well, you're asking me about the first half. You're asking me about the first half, so I'm telling you what I watched in the first half. I think it may be time for a change. Maybe they were tired or something because it just weren't sticking with Freddie. I think it's Saturday now for Smith and Freddie, innit?
Yeah.
Or definitely Smith. So I think Tuesday. So yeah.
Well, Freddie didn't. Yeah, he's supposed to start. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think Smith can go on till May, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah, well,
Freddie's obviously been nursing this hip injury, which kept him out. So I wouldn't be surprised if Freddie doesn't start against Coventry. But when Vass came on, he put himself about, worked quite hard. He had a chance as well, didn't he? A little late on, where the keeper saved it. I didn't see a replay because it's Rotherham, and why would they show us a replay?
Yeah.
But it looked like a really good chance from Vass, and their keeper looked like he made a good save.
Yeah, he did. And Hurst did a really good run as well, back end at game. We did threaten. Obviously, we'd never have beaten them and broken them down. Clearly not, because we're not good enough. But, we did threaten. Listen, it's not the end of the world by any stretch of imagination. We played really, really well in that first half. I was really happy at half time with the way that we played. But they were always going to change it up.
Yeah, because
they were always going to step up a gear.
Well, they brought on Sergi Canos, who's a very, very good Championship player. And they've got all these players they can bring on. Obviously, Ivan Toney is probably the hottest striker in England at the minute.
Yeah, apparently
he is. I saw a stat on the thing. It's it's that percentage of team goals.
So it's nearly 60%.
Yeah, nearly 60% of Brentford's goals, which is phenomenal. But the other two, Callum Wilson and Calvert-Lewin, it's probably 5 times harder to do it in Premier League. So I wouldn't say that one of the hottest strikers in England.
It's got 14 in 14.
Yeah, he's hottest striker in Championship, but it's a different level in Premier League.
If somebody in League Two had scored 14 in 14, you still class him as the hottest at the minute.
Well, Tony wouldn't have got 3 in Premier League by now, so that's the difference.
We said that last season when he were at Peterborough. We said Championship's a big step up, and he's doing it. But I don't like him.
Premier League's different gravy.
You've got to give credit where credit's due. It's took the step up like a duck to water.
Yeah.
So if you've got a player who's scoring 60% of your goals, how comfortable are you with that position as a manager?
Yeah, exactly. They clearly haven't clicked. They were, if they are meant to be this fantastic side, they weren't that last night, and they clearly haven't been that yet. So they have got problems.
My point being that if Woody had accidentally stepped on his Achilles last night,
yeah,
where's Brentford's goals going to come from?
Well, exactly, and that's an issue for them. They've obviously sold Ben Rama in summer and Watkins as well. They're on a bit of a rebuild job because they've sold the two best players. And Mbembo, or whatever he's called, he did nothing.
No.
They should have started first half, didn't they? Where the fewest touches were Tony and him.
Well, like I said it before, Woody, he just takes care of people like that. I'm sure if Sergio Aguero comes to Championship, you know what I mean, he'd have him in his back pocket. That's the type of player that Woody is. And I think that was probably tactical. Obviously, Icky can't have played, but Woody, he'll definitely put Woody on him because that's what he does against good strikers.
Yeah, if Icky were playing, Icky would have done the same job.
Well, like we said, Tony's goal was a penalty, so it's not. I didn't see
he didn't look like scoring, Tony.
No, he didn't.
But his all-round play was very good.
Yeah, it was. Disappointingly, it was, yeah.
Talk about the formation. So this for me was a much clearer 3-5-2 than it was on Saturday. Saturday was a bit mishmash. This time was very clearly 5-3-2, 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. And it worked well. Woody as a centre of the three worked really, really well because he can sort of sit a bit deeper and marshal everybody. Harding, I didn't really notice Harding, but that's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Angus MacDonald was okay.
Yeah.
I said this before, McDonald. Obviously, I'm going to say it again. I didn't watch first half, but in second half, I had to put it to me when we were watching it. It's long ball after long ball after long ball after long ball. It's like, just take a chill pill. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just calm down and play it out. And in my opinion, he was at fault for that second goal. But that's my opinion.
Possibly.
I think Matic without the first goal, weren't it? Where Matic should have cleared it out and he
Matic's
got in the wrong
one.
position.
Yeah.
Second goal, I'm not so sure. Ben
We'll
seemed
go
to
on
think
to
that he weren't chasing back. He's
We'll
got a mistake in him.
Yeah.
He's got more than one mistake in him. He's got more mistakes in him than Blackman's got. Tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
We've seen it with 2 on goals, basically.
Well, yeah, and I'm not even necessarily thinking about that. It's just his positional play is poor. He seems to get a rush of blood to head so too often and finds himself out of position and other people having to cover for him.
The offside, when Tony was offside and balls come over and whatever, Tony's gone for it with his foot.
Go for what?
Not Tony, McDonald. Yeah. Balls come over, he's gone for it. I'm thinking, and then linesman, they do it back to the replay, and I don't think it was very, very close. Do you know what I mean? And if he's gone through, why has he gone with his foot?
Yeah, I think
he got a proper turn, didn't he?
He did. I think I don't know. He's not the player that he was for me at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And like I said, for me, he's far more mistake prone than Blackman, without a shadow of a doubt. That's in my view.
Yeah. I think he's obviously. I said at the start of the season, I didn't think he was, all that because it was long ball after long ball. I don't know. I think he stayed the same, and I said this. I just don't think, he's no Ramos. Do you know what I mean?
You're very, very perceptive, Ben, aren't you? Obviously, because we didn't spot it.
I think there's been a significant amount. There's been a drop in his performance, big time. Yeah. He started off as reliable. The goal against Huddersfield is just. I'm not getting any blame to him about that.
Wasn't he for both his own goals?
Yeah, but I think he started off really well. But I think there has been a marked drop off on that. I don't think it's rubbish. No. But like you've just said, Mick, he's just starting to make individual mistakes that we can't really afford. At the minute, our best back two pairing is Woody and Ikwe.
Yeah.
And that's what we had last season, which is a bit of a worry. Probably Robertson would be in place of Woody if Robertson could stay fit.
Well, we've got Curtis Tilt out on loan as well, don't forget.
He's playing games as well.
Yeah, if he's playing.
Yeah, he is.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Well, and we're only a month away from transfer window.
Yeah, exactly. So, but obviously Tony will not dig his hand in his pocket because he'll be too busy spending it on whatever he spends it on and not club, won't he? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'd be amazed if we... With transfer chats, we'll say that for another episode because it could be a busy month.
Possibly.
With the injuries we've got, we need to dip in. Even if it's only short term, we need to dip in.
Yeah.
I think Chio's well, I'm not going to say Chio's not far off the thingy, but he's well into his rehabilitation, surely now.
It must be, but I think it was February he's due back.
Oh.
Which is an issue. Into midfield three, Lindsay, Crooks, and Wiles. I thought Wiles had one of his poorest games for us. I don't think it was rubbish, but it gave the ball away a lot. But then at the same time, he looked after it quite a lot. It was a very indifferent Ben Wiles for me, but I might be being harsh.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't as effective as he has been.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it didn't detract from the fact he's a good player. He didn't have his best game last night. He didn't have a poor game. It just weren't his best for me anyway. I thought the midfield three were outstanding. Apart from, the other two, of the midfield three, I thought were outstanding, both Lindsay and Crooks.
Yeah.
I thought had a fantastic game. Lindsay just did what we expect.
Yeah.
Crooksy last night had flashes of the Crooksy we know and love.
That chance he made for himself in first
100%,
half.
yeah. And hopefully maybe it's just a confidence thing. Maybe he's had a bit of crisis of confidence.
Yeah.
And that last night hopefully will bring him back a little bit closer. So yeah, I thought those two were really well, played really well last night.
Yeah, week in, week out, you can see Crooks getting gradually and better and better. He's becoming much more effective.
I think it was a confidence thing, obviously.
Yeah.
He's had a hard year.
Yeah.
He's maybe hit him a bit late, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might have hit him, obviously, in off pre-season. He's got knocked down, whatever. But he's definitely getting back to himself.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. Lindsay was superb. He wins our man of the match poll, unsurprisingly.
Not really
it was excellent. It was his 150th league career game on Tuesday for Lindsay. So he's getting he's at a point in his career where he is now experienced. And he needs to start putting performances. And to be fair to him, he is putting those performances in. Which is really good. Ben's favourite player, Matt Sunday. I thought he was outstanding.
Did you?
I thought he was so good down that right hand side.
I've said it since the day.
I voted for him for man at match.
I did.
I've said it since the day he signed. He's quality. He's honestly quality. I love him so much. He's just so good. He's just so good at everything.
That wing back role, he's made for the wing back
role.
role.
He's so good. Obviously, like remember last season, I can't remember what game it were. He played on left mid and he was like, you know what I mean? He was like Hazard. And then he goes back up right back and he makes last ditch challenge, you know what I mean? I think he's quality. And yeah, I do understand why I didn't play him at the start of the season because it's a new level and he's a young lad and whatever. But yeah, he's so good.
Certainly growing into that role, isn't he?
Yeah.
Certainly growing into it. He's getting experience and he's learning. He's one of these players you can almost watch, learn before your eyes, you know what I mean? Yeah. A great prospect, a really, really good prospect, definitely. And I can see why I like him, Ben.
Yeah. Well, I've liked him since the day he signed. I'm going to get a T-shirt with him on.
What, like a photograph?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to get a picture with him one day and then put it on a photo. Put it on a T-shirt. Make it my Twitter picture.
Okay. So overall, any issues with the sending off for Mikel Miller?
No. I think McDonald was at fault for it. Like I've said though, he's jogging. And it's unacceptable for a centre back, in my opinion, to be jogging when they're on break.
But he's entitled to be tired as well as everybody else.
I don't care. Put your body on line for the team.
He's also played Saturday, Tuesday international break.
Put your body on line for the team. That's it. Full stop.
You've just been defending people for Smithy, saying it's Saturday, Tuesday, and he's tired.
But you
can't have same for. It's the same for McDonald as it is for Smith.
Put your body on line for the team. If you get injured, you get injured.
But it's all right for Freddie to be quiet about the last half an hour.
It's not all right for Freddie to be quiet.
Okay. But you were defending Freddie.
Yeah, but he didn't concede as a goal. He didn't concede as a goal. He didn't concede as the game. He didn't concede as one of our best players sent off. McDonald can't be jogging. It's not acceptable. He knows where that ball's going. I could bet my house, all my savings, that ball's going into the box. So block. And if you do,
you haven't got a house.
Whatever. Mum and dad's house. If he slides and whoever cuts in, Woody's got it covered. Just slide, block that ball with all you got.
I know what you're saying, but it's late, very late on in the game. Say Tuesday. I can understand why he wasn't going back as sprinting, but you're probably right.
Woody's still sprinting.
Oh, that's Woody though, isn't it?
Well, this is what I mean.
That's what he's got to aspire to. But I see what you're saying.
If I'm Woody, I'm bollocking him all day. You know what I mean? Put your body on line for the team. I don't get it.
I think as far as the foul's concerned, he's fallen over, hasn't he, Miller?
Well, yeah.
He's tripped.
It counts as I don't. It's a weird one because when I first saw it, it obviously looked like a foul.
Yeah.
You watch it on replay, Canos has waited for the contact.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he's waited for the contact. It's through on goal.
Which reminds me, actually, we should have had a penalty in first half. Foul on Olasunde in box. Olasunde does not go down. He didn't go down. If he goes down there, that's a penalty, 100%, because their players slid in and he's stopped him getting to the ball. Yeah. It's a penalty.
This is another,
but it doesn't go down.
This is another conversation altogether because I agree with you. But if I'm 1-on-1 with the keeper and the defender's behind me, yeah, and that defender two-handed pushes me, and I get a shot off, take a few steps, and then go on the floor, that won't be a foul. If he pushes me and I go down straight away, it's a penalty. This is the problem with referees.
If he pushes you, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Or a foul.
God, yeah.
End of. Whatever. It doesn't matter what happens afterwards.
We've seen it in the Premier League with Grealish, that stupid dive, which we'll talk about on Varcast after this. If he don't go down, no one even thinks about a foul, but he goes down and gets the foul. This is why. I'm not saying this is the whole reason for cheating, but this is how cheating's come about, or how some diving has to come about because you have to go down to get the foul.
Yeah, I mean it's another story, isn't it, for another podcast? Strangely enough, but I thought the referee last night was poor.
Yes,
I thought it was very poor. He was giving free kicks for the least possible amount of contact.
It was.
I think he favoured.
We didn't do ref watch, did we?
No.
And it was the same referee from Hillsborough a few years ago. Apparently, they gave the penalty against Woody.
Right.
So if you had any surprise about why he was rubbish before, I've just told you that. You don't know why.
I don't know why. Yeah.
It was like I was watching a Premier League game where Brentford were one of the top dogs.
Yeah,
which they are.
Yeah, in the league. Oh God. Well.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, put your Sky Sports hat on and just
sorry.
heap praise on them. Come on.
Yeah,
get with the programme.
It was like watching a Premier League game where everyone's just throwing himself on front floor. I seen it numerous times in the game. Sorry, Mick. And we had the same challenge on us. We won't go down. They'd have the same challenge on them and go down. And it'd be a free kick. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was watching.
Yeah, and then it's one of those frustrating things. I suppose we'll finish on the Brentford, but I've mentioned the coverage from Sky. Sky spent turned it on 10 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah.
They spent 10 minutes saying, I'd rather we're going to try and break up the play, make loads of fouls, or get to, and it's like, so then Brentford spent 90 minutes throwing themselves around, trying to break up play and win fouls.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
I mean, I've had a conversation with Wendy at work today, and when they played Brentford, he said that the Sky were exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was like there were only one team that was playing. You know what I mean? All it was just Brentford. It's bizarre, and the conversation I had in the same conversation, we've watched every game this season on iFollow because we've had to.
Yeah,
and we had some crap commentators. Nottingham Forest away for a start. All my life.
Reading.
Stoke.
And Reading Stoke. As well. Was it Reading?
No, Reading were fine. We
Reading
managed to get ours.
But last night, in my mind, was by far and away, by a country mile, the worst commentary we've had on any of our games this season. It was dreadful, because it was like, well, they're a brilliant side, aren't they? I don't know why I'm complaining.
I suppose there's not much more to say on that. Good luck to Brentford, but
I think
they were tedious. That was a very, very. I couldn't enjoy the game.
No,
even if the commentators obviously didn't help, but if there were no commentators, I just couldn't enjoy watching because I found them really boring to watch.
Yeah.
They didn't really. They had. Some might sound stupid, but they didn't look like they had any ambition.
No.
They were just waiting for a gap to open up. We're just going to wait. No, it's fine. We'll wait.
Yeah.
And it genuinely took their striker to come and sit in centre-back role to actually try and get forward.
Yeah.
It felt really, really boring to me.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before, you can't play that football unless you've got Messi, Iniesta and Xavi. You can't play that type of football unless you've got them three players. It's impossible.
Unless other teams let you.
It's impossible, especially in the Championship.
Yeah.
And as Sky pointed out, we wouldn't let them because we were going to break it up all the time, and we're a very physical, direct side.
Yeah.
Just a quick word on Brentford's manager.
Frank.
Obviously, Frank. Ooh. Now then.
Oh.
It's just... Not sure about him. Not sure about that lad. I'm just not sure. Does it show? Well, maybe it's just me. He's got one of those faces you'd never get tired of just punching.
Yeah, he was very complimentary about us, to be fair.
I don't care.
But yeah, and I know what he's saying. He upset a lot of people last year in the Championship by sort of saying that they should be winning their games like this, and we expect this, and he upset a lot of Leeds fans, which obviously very enjoyable.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. I ain't got a problem with that at all. It's just maybe my problem with him is that is it
his hair?
It's not 1977 anymore.
Are you
is
jealous of his hair?
What, the fact that he's got some?
Well, you can't really speak, can you, man?
I'm bald by choice.
Well, that's what he said.
Anyway, sorry.
So,
Not wrong with him. He's a nice, lovely bloke and a manager of a fantastic football team.
Have you met him? Imagine he's a lovely
I don't need to. I can just tell.
Ask Sky Sports, they'll tell you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's that one. We're moving on now. Coventry away on the weekend. 2 away games in a row. Coventry, Watford, which is Coventry may end up being the more tougher of the 2 games.
Yeah, possibly.
Because the stats we do, I always do. We're unbeaten in 2 games against Coventry. Obviously, that's more recent games, so that's more relevant than being unbeaten 10 years ago by 2 games. But in terms of that, we haven't lost away. We've got a really good away record against Coventry. We haven't lost since 2002 away from home. And Gary McAllister scored twice for Coventry.
Wowzers.
I know.
My word.
That's how long ago that was. They drew. Did they draw or win last night? On Tuesday.
I can't remember.
They certainly didn't lose. I think they're on a bit of an okay run of form.
Well, they've jagged them to that relegation zone, I believe, anyway.
Yeah. We'll find out. I'll find that out while we're talking. So what do we think about the line? Because Warney said there is no injuries from Tuesday night. Icky's back. Would you expect to see us go 3-5-2 again? Ben, what do you think? 3-5-2, 4-4-2, 4-4-1?
I think exact same formation. I think I saw enough from Hurst to start him with Freddie.
Really?
I think from what he saw, it looks like he's getting into it. He put that cross in for Vass. He wanted it. I think he's getting better. I'd either start Vass or Hurst with Smith. Same 3, or maybe Wiles for Barlasser, maybe. But I'd take a McDonald out for a Heckway. Any day, that's mine. I don't think McDonald should play.
You'd leave.
No. Did I say McDonald? Yeah, I did.
You'd leave McDonald. Harding as a centre back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's better than McDonald at centre back at the minute.
If you're looking at playing that same formation, then I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a good idea. Harding, Heckway and Woody. Those back 3, Mattock and all Sunday as your wing backs.
I think Harding will fit perfectly in there because you've got Woody and Nicky, 2 experienced centre backs who can play. Literally, they can do Harding's job for him. Do you know what I mean? So I think Harding will fit nicely. I could play centre back with them 2, and I'd look like Ramos.
I'm not sure Woody will be fit, although there's no injury worries. He said that Woody and Olasunde were only 50% fit.
Yeah,
and you could tell, particularly Olasunde later on, you could tell he weren't fully fit.
You can't tell with Woody. He'd run with full body cast, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's true. But if he isn't fully fit, we had to risk him.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't have to risk him on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If Angus was all fit, which he clearly is going to be, and Woody's not 100% fit, you would have to play him really and risk him.
Well, another thing is playing Mattock centre back, innit, and Clark on wing back. Because honestly, I don't think McDonald should play. That's my opinion. I didn't see enough from him.
It's round pegs in round holes, though, innit? If you've got a centre back, you need to play a centre back. It's no good playing. Matter can do that job if needs be, but why would you?
You want a centre back who's only going to give 70%, or a non-centre back that's going to give 100.
It's done it for you now, hasn't it? That goal,
it really
that goal's done it for you the rest of the season.
Because it just annoys me because it's embarrassing.
Yeah, but to be fair, you could say that Mattock sometimes. Sometimes Mattock only half-arse runs back.
Yeah, but Mattock's done enough to solidify a good reputation for us. He's been with us. He's stuck with us.
Not going to some people.
Yeah, but obviously he likes a good scrap every now and again and headbutt maybe. But he's stuck with us through thin and thick, and yeah, I just don't like McDonald.
You need to get over that, I'm afraid.
Well.
Coventry's recent run's pretty good. They lost to Watford in November. Since then, they're unbeaten. They drew with Birmingham, beat Cardiff, drew with Norwich, but they only drew with Derby on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
which is not to shout about really.
It's a game that we need to win. And we need to win it, don't we? Let's be fair, and not wanting to use the old hashtag, but Coventry within this division, where we are, is one of the teams that we should be beating if we want to stay up, because they are going to be one of our competitors down that bottom end of the table. That's not a we should be beating teams like Coventry, but it is a we should be beating teams like Coventry, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because they're in and around.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to come. This result may come down to the final few games of the season. They always do.
You got to bear in mind it's away from home, though. You've got to give yourselves a bit more leeway.
The thing is, I think are they in T2? I think they're in T2.
No.
They're not.
This
is the perfect time to have an away game against the relegation battle, because no fans, so it's not really home advantage. And later on in the season, we probably will have fans.
Yeah.
So at home, which will help. So.
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, we've got a lot of our relegation rivals. We're recording on Wednesday night when a lot of other teams are playing. Wickham have got fans in on their Wednesday night game. Yeah. In particular, I think Luton, if they haven't, I don't know if they're home this week or not, but if they're not, they will have fans in soon, because they're obviously down there as well. So that'll hopefully change soon. I think mid-December, 16th or 18th of December is next review date. Yeah. So hopefully, you never know. In time for Christmas, the Christmas games,
that'd be nice.
We might get some fans in.
Maybe.
I won't put money on it though.
No.
A couple of stats coming up next in the next game. Ben Wiles starts at his 50th start of his career.
Is that wow?
He's made a lot of substitutes.
I suppose he has. Yeah.
I think he's made like 20 substitute appearances, and Crooksey will be his 150th league start. So going forward, so Ben mentioned he start Hurst.
Oh yeah, I think he's developing. I think he played very well for the 20 minutes.
Would you say he's got to play with Smith, or for me, if you're going to play, I wouldn't play him. But
I don't think Smith deserves to get a drop. Who else? Why would you drop him?
Yeah,
I think. I think Freddie needs to. Well, not needs to be dropped, but needs a rest.
Yeah.
Obviously, carrying that hip injury. A hip, I
think. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is, an injury. I think either Hurst or Vass, whoever performs well in training. Yeah. I think they both played well. Vass is obviously fighting for his place, which is what you want to see. And Hurst is clearly developing. Did a few good runs. It looks like he just runs. And I ain't really seen anything from him that's bad. Not. Do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I've not seen many positives from him.
But you haven't seen any bad.
Tuesday night.
Well, he's developing. I don't think this is his first game at a good level. If he's played Belgian, I could play Belgian.
It's his first season, yeah. But I vast against QPR. I know he wasn't very good against QPR. Vast did more against QPR than Hurston all season.
Yeah, well,
which is I see what you're saying, because he did play well when he come on. But for me, Vass has earned the right to be next up.
Yeah, but is Vass a striker, or is he behind?
You can play if you're playing 3-5-2. You can allow him to sit a bit deeper. Whenever Vass and Smith play together, it brings out the best in at least one of them.
True, definitely. Yeah, well, I think Vass or Hurst, whatever.
I'd be very surprised if Freddie starts.
Yeah, me too.
Midfield 3. Well, do you think we're going to stick to 3-5-2?
I would have thought so. It's been effective, hasn't it? Last few games, it's different been effective. Though, I know it's a different side, and I guess it depends on how Coventry set up. We don't know how they're set up at the moment, do we? So it may change. It may change formation. Don't know. It's got, obviously that's going to depend on the others. But if we go 3-5-2, I think it's going to be really difficult to swap out anybody in that midfield. If you do, you're looking at a straight swap between Wiles and Barlaser for me.
That's all we've got.
Yeah.
We ain't got anybody else to bring in, have we?
Well, I suppose not really. And maybe Ben Wiles needs a rest.
Yeah, possibly.
And Barlaser, well, we know what a quality player he is. Yeah. He's had a drop in form. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's perfect for him. I think it's perfect for him because we know what he's like. Obviously, Jordi Javi.
He were also
whatever you call him.
He were also superb against Coventry last season. I know he got injured, but in that game he were really good.
He were last year. He were phenomenal. Coventry are basically a League One side. Technically,
a couple of signings.
it's not really.
Same as us, aren't they, really?
Yeah, so I think he should play, maybe a rest as well. I think it's a week now we're at the game, so...
No.
He'll...
Midweek again next week.
No, I mean, he hasn't played a...
Oh, what, Barlaser? Yeah, sorry, yeah.
So he's had a rest, and maybe it'll do him good, so I think he should start as well.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that, really. Predictions, we didn't do predictions for a while, but Mick, predictions for Coventry game, tough game, you think we've got to win?
I don't think we've got to win. No, definitely not. We haven't got to win because it's only just end of November, beginning of December, and my understanding is that the season goes on till May. So there's a few more games to play. That's what I'm led to believe. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. You're right there, Ben.
Yeah.
So no, we haven't got to win it. No, it'd be nice to win it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get another 3 points on the table and get 3 points over above, the team that are in and around us. So I think we will. I think we will win. As long as we can keep that intensity that we've had for the last 2 games and we don't drop it off a little bit because we're playing a team that's not up near the top. Yeah. That psychological aspect there. If we can keep that in play, then we will win. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind. If there's the same sort of performance on Saturday as there was against Bournemouth for the whole 90 minutes and against Brentford, the wonderful team that they are, for the first 45 minutes, then I'm absolutely confident that we'll win, and we'll win properly as well. So, yeah, we're going to win.
Cool. Ben, positive, same?
Yeah, I think... did you give a prediction?
Yeah, so we're going to win.
No, I mean like score-wise.
Oh, no.
I think 1-1 or... I think 1-1. I think...
We're going to win 1-1.
Oh.
Steady on with time.
I'd take anything but a loss. Draw, I'd be happy with, because we just stay the same if we drew in the league, table-wise.
I'll go 2-1 win. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah,
look at their recent form. They're in a good bit of form, and they don't seem to concede many, but they don't score many at minute either. Anyway, one last thing. Obviously, there's been whinges on Twitter and Facebook. You can give me a one-word answer if you want. There's many people mentioning it. Maybe time for one to go. Mick, keep it as clean as you can.
One word.
Yeah.
Tossers.
Anything?
Have you been serious?
I assume these people have been serious. But I thought it's a valid question to ask, since some people have mentioned it.
I'm not even going to entertain that.
Okay. I agree. I think it'd be stupid to get rid of, even if one wasn't who he is, it'd be stupid to get rid of a manager at this time of season. Yeah,
I mean, I'll qualify the word that I use there by anybody who's fishing for bites. Fair dues, all right, if that's what you want to do. It is a bit peculiar.
Got one off you.
Somebody got one off me today. If you're serious, I stand by it, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Anything else we need to talk about?
I think Matt want to mention the FA Cup draw.
I forgot about FA Cup draw.
Oh God!
It doesn't make. It's just like it's the draw we wanted.
Almost.
No, well, it's the draw you wanted if you didn't want an FA Cup, which I'm happy with, because it's Everton. Okay. I won't go if we could, because we've been before.
We still go.
Well, yeah, that's probably, we would still go. But it was a good atmosphere last time. But
really good,
I don't. No offense to anyone from Liverpool, I don't really want to go there again. But I would. It's just going to be a loss because it's Ancelotti. It's just no point. It's just a crap drawing. It's just crap.
7th or 8th of January. So even if we all go into Tier 1, we still can't go.
Yeah.
No. So it's irrelevant to us, really. I think on a positive side, it's going to be good, because Warney gets to put himself up against Carlo Ancelotti, a multiple Champions League winner as player, as a manager. Yeah. It's a good battle and a good learning curve for him.
Of course it is.
Definitely.
And the players. I know we'll probably not see Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez.
Well, he played them last time, didn't he? Well, he didn't, Ancelotti, but you know.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's good for the players. Some young players. This will be Wiles', for example, second goal at Everton. So we're sort of building it up and things like that. So good for the players. For us as a fan, we'll probably have to pay a tenner on iFollow to watch us get spanked 3-0.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just one of them things you have to do, and you watch it, you know you're going to get beat. You just enjoy it anyway.
It's just
it's nice to see Marine.
I've mentioned this on another podcast. I think the FA Cup He could have got rid of it this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes away what Chorley have done and what Marine are going to get. I suppose.
It's nice to see Marine getting ton.
It is, but at the same time, there's going to be no fans there.
True.
So they're not
But
really.
they are going to have fans, aren't they, Marine?
No.
Yeah, because they're in Merseyside. And they're in tier 2.
Have you seen the
Well,
Marines?
they'll be allowed 50% then, which will
which
be
is about 40.
Yeah.
Have you seen Marine Stadium? They've got numbers on the fence. Say Borgers over. They know which house to knock on.
Is that right?
Yeah. It went Borgers over.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's what FA Cup's about.
I think they're the 8th tier as well as of football.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Which is mental.
From that point of view, it's brilliant.
It'd be nice to live in one of them houses and have Josie knocking your door at 20 past 3 next Saturday.
The bad thing is as well, with no fans, they score anything last minute to get through as well.
Yeah.
Which is just like, if fans are there, just everyone, player would dive bomb through a wall to get into.
This is why the FA Cup's brilliant.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's really what we're missing at the minute.
Yeah. Well, from this point onwards, it's awful because it's just going to be big teams get through.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Man U final or something. It's like, I don't really want to watch that. I've seen it for 16 years, me being alive.
We could do it, because we're Rotherham United, we don't do cup runs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've only ever seen one team get to the final, and that's one lower team gets to the final. Was it Wigan?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Wigan recently. Millwall got there as well.
Who else got there? I think it was just Wigan.
Millwall.
We're not fans. We're not fans.
Who did Pompey beat?
I don't know. We're not fans. It's near impossible, isn't it? So
yeah. Anyway, we've gone on for ages here. So
yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you've enjoyed us rambling nonsense, and I hope you all paid your due respects to Brentford, the fantastic team that they are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll come again on Monday morning for what will hopefully be a good win at Coventry, and then we've got a preview of Watford to look forward to. It gets better and better, isn't it?
It's a very tough game, isn't it? But
yeah.
we'll talk about that after we see what happens on Saturday.
Yes. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mick, for keeping it mostly clean.
It was clean, completely clean. Well, all right, mainly clean.
And thank you very much, Ben. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all again on Monday. Cheers, guys.
Pringle looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it!